Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm standing in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming, in front of, or next to a 2023 Toyota Sequoia. This is in the TRD Pro package in probably the best paint color you can get for it. This thing is beautiful. 2023 is an all-new year for this vehicle, so third generation of the Sequoia, completely redone, ground up. One of the biggest changes is under the hood. There is no longer a V8. It is now a 3.4 liter turbocharged 6, and that goes to a 10-speed automatic transmission with a hybrid setup, a hybrid powertrain. So that gives a total of 437 horsepower. That is phenomenal, and because of the TRD package, they managed to make it still sound really good, even back at the pipes. This has dual pipes in the rear, and just a nice note.
Hey, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today's review is brought to you by Stop Soldier Suicide. Find the link below, click, and donate. Appreciate it.
There's a couple of things that are on the TRD Pro package that are pretty cool. One of them is, of course, these covers with the TRD Pro badging, and you'll see up front slightly different approach down there, and the light bar right here is not normal. These are. This is not. This has surround view cameras. It has a really cool integrated GoPro in the windshield up there. I'll try to show you some footage of that as we go along here. This has a few package accessories like that roof rack up there. A couple other things I'll show you as we walk around. So really well done. This is a really nice generation of the Sequoia. I only really have a couple of beefs. One of them is with the third row, and the other one is with the other paint colors, I guess, really. Actually, seriously though, Toyota did a phenomenal job with this. So let's walk around it and check it out. So looking at it from the side here to get the profile, you can see very similar design to the Tundra. In fact, the TRD Pro packages for the Tundra and the Sequoia are very similar. So if you've watched that Tundra review, you'll be seeing a lot of repeat here. The design is nicely done with the kind of box, the way they do it. So with an SUV like this, it's a 2-box design versus the truck's 3-box design. But you can see the similarities if you take that larger second box and split it in half. It is still the same design. So you have all the same cues. As I walk in and you see kind of some perspective, this is a very large SUV. It is a truck-based SUV, very large. So like the TRD Pro package on the Tundra, you have these kind of faux carbon fiber things going around the edges here. You have the Wild Peak tires. You have a different suspension. They've changed it a little bit. Gives it a slight amount of lift, but most of the lift is really coming from these tires, I think. And then you can see the step rail down there. You can see this, what I mentioned before, this is actually added on, this rooftop rack, but very cool add-on. Difference in the mirrors. So these are pretty much the same mirrors as on the Tundra, except these do not extend. They're fixed like that. Otherwise, they are basically the same mirror. You have the lower convex and the upper regular mirror. And then you can see the TRD badging on the wheels. And then what I was talking about with the box design, the front box would be where the engine is up there. Second box would be this portion here, the passenger compartment. If you look at the pickup truck, you can imagine a line right here. That makes 2 boxes here. So it's the same 3-box design. It's also the same design around to create the fender flares. So you have this very pronounced belt line across here, but the belt line is not just a curve or just a flat. It's actually sort of through here, it is sort of like a profile like you would have on your baseboards or something in your house. So it has a tiny little top part, comes down and curves like that, and then comes down again. That's this right here. So it creates a lot of light movement right in this section, from back here at the taillight all the way forward to just ahead of this door handle. It fades up, it thins out and fades up like that. So that accentuates this line right here, which is a deep cut right here going inward for this door handle and to create the flare to make this look even larger. So it makes it beefy, really, really strong in the back. I like this look. It looks good on an SUV. And then you can see the spoilers, not terribly pronounced. The rake is pretty quick, and then it's flat. So that creates maximum cargo space. I'll show you that later. Up front, kind of the same thing as in the back, but a little more nuanced. So what you have up here is that same cut running across, right, with the lights finishing it, so it finishes that shape. But you don't have that same shelf right here. It's much simpler. There's a line that fades in right here and runs along and then fades out right about here, and that creates a similar profile but different. So it catches light slightly differently. You have a major shelf here and a darker one here, and then the big deep cut in. So a little bit different, but really, really cool. Then you have the hood line here, so you can see the hood comes up and runs like this. It's a wide piece like this going all the way across. It narrows towards the top where this is. So just a really cool design language. You can see the cut down here to create sort of a running board, allowing this to become a larger rocker panel, which again adds to the feeling of ground clearance and muscle. Very, very beautiful design. I really like it, especially in this color. Such a great color. The black and orange are a perfect mix. This is sort of a burnt pumpkin kind of an orange, so it's a great color for a vehicle like this. Really well done. Let's go look at the working end, and then we'll get inside. So back here, what I was talking about is this is a pretty small spoiler up here. This is a fast rake. Doesn't last very long because it straightens out right here. There's a shelf right here between the glass and the edge. There's a reason for that, I'll show you. And then this is a pretty simplistic design. So you have a mirror of that kind of half octagon right here that's around the wheels. And of course the Sequoia badge in large whatevers. Under here is your trailer hitch for towing and the dual exhaust. Now, two things to show you back here. First, Toyota retained the rear window being able to open by itself. That's really cool. You can stack your groceries and whatever in here and not worry about things falling out when you park or you're loading up. So that's the reason for this shelf. It creates a little bit of protection for this bare glass right here. Then you have the regular hatch, which I grabbed the wrong spots up here. And you can see the cargo is pretty good. Here's my beef. You can probably see it right away, right there. These third row seats hog up a lot of space. This has been a problem for most of Toyota's large SUVs, especially the Land Rover or Land Cruiser based ones. Part of the reason for this is because there is a battery under here. Also, there's a spare tire underneath up there. And then that axle. So you just have a lot going on, so they didn't sink anything down. Now, you do have this, if I can get it to deploy. There's stuff in the way on the sides. What did I do wrong? Oh, it's because I'm lifting it out wrong. So you do have this you can put to make a cargo shelf, which is pretty cool. So if I put it right there, now you can see it's even with all of that, plus you can do this so that you don't have things running underneath those seats. It fits in 3 separate positions. You got another one right up here and another one right up here. Pretty useful. I like this setup. It's kind of cool. If you have these seats up, this creates a shelf for stuff that separates it from stuff that would be under here. So that's a pretty cool feature. I really like it. And when you stow it like it was to start with, it's flat right here. That I really like. What I wish is that they had figured out a way to stow these or move them somehow. I honestly almost think it was better the old way where they folded up to the sides, so at least you had your open room here. But when you fold that second row flat, you do have a fairly flat surface from here to those, but you still have that big empty center space, etc., etc. So the cargo space is a little hokey to use. There are USB charging ports back here. You can electronically deploy or stow the seats right here. There is a quick button up there for these guys so that they can tilt that seat forward to get out. So as far as passenger accommodation, this is one of the better third rows, despite, I mean, so the gain for killing the cargo space is these are much more comfortable third row seats than you find in most of these large SUVs. They're usually very, very thin, so they have very little padding here, and they're usually very not adjustable. This one, you can adjust it from back here. That's what this handle is for, to slide it back and forth, as well as do it while you're in the seat with the bar underneath. So it is a really nice setup if you plan on carrying passengers. If you plan on carrying cargo, not so great. So yeah, that's kind of the, like I said, that's the trade-off. You have one, you can have one or the other, but not always both. A couple other little features. There's D-hooks here, household outlets there, and speakers and stuff back here as well. So, and this does have the option for tri-zone climate. I don't remember if it's standard with TRD. I would not be surprised because TRD is the second to top model tier, but I don't remember for sure if it is. I'll put it on the screen. I'll look it up. So there goes my camera. I guess we're done. I apologize because of the way the stand is. I can't get it to stand up straight and look in this door. There's just too much stuff on the ground right here. But back seats, very comfortable, very livable and large. My kids, for whatever reason, like them leaning way back. I don't know. I think they're gangsters. But very, very well done. I don't have two hands, I can't adjust it. Very, very well done though. I really do like it back here. There's USB ports, climate controls, a household outlet, storage in the pockets, storage in the doors a little bit, water bottle storage on the bottom. Just nicely done overall, and plenty of headroom back here. I've got, what, maybe 2 to 2.5 inches there, and I'm 6'3", so yeah. Nicely done. Let's go look at the front really quick. And I got a couple things I need to talk about up there. And then I'm gonna do some more wheeling. Okay, this time I managed to make a flat spot for the camera to stand on. Yeah, interior. So again, very much like the Tundra, a lot of the controls and other things are very, very similar. A couple of things that are slightly different. One of those is, because this is an SUV instead of a truck, there is a couple of accommodations for the SUV. One of those, of course, is the climate. There's more than one zone. The other one is the sound system. It's actually a little better in this, and that's because you have that extra space to throw in, you know, one more subwoofer and a little more tuning. So really cool. Otherwise, a lot of similarities. Light bar for the front is up here. The cargo light switch that would be on the pickup truck is now a door light switch. So there's a light on that back door that can illuminate the ground around it to help you use the cargo space a little better in the dark or whatever. All the other switches are kind of self-explanatory, so I won't, if I get time to do a walkthrough, you'll see all of that stuff. Heated and cool seats, all that good stuff. These screens are wonderful, very large and in charge and useful. Very awesome screens. Now, I pointed out at the very beginning there that there is a permanent mount kind of GoPro-like camera up here. All you have to do is put a micro SD card in it, and then you can record. It does audio. It can broadcast to Wi-Fi. Lots of cool stuff. Has a big red action button that illuminates so you know if it's working. You can record in it. I believe what it does is it records continuously until it runs out of memory. I don't think it loops, but I think there may be an option. I would have to go and dig through the infotainment to turn that into a dash camera. And I don't remember if it's that way by default or if it's the other way by default, because I have not had a card in there long enough to fully fill it. I mean, it takes, when you're doing video, it's amazing how much space it takes. At the same time, it's amazing how much one of these little carts could hold. When I put the cart in there, I didn't realize that I was putting a 128 in there. So I don't know that I will be able to do enough driving to fill that thing. But very, very cool camera, and again, I will show you footage from it. It is really cool, and it's a neat feature, akin to the Tacoma, which has the GoPro mount built in up there. So very cool there. Also, the mirror is one of my favorite things. When you have it like down normally, it's a regular mirror looking through. When you flip it up like you were doing, you know, for glare at night, it actually turns into a camera-based mirror screen. So the screen is showing you what's showing from a camera that's based right up near the top of the window back there. So it's a pretty good view of the back. Also, this has surround view cameras and other stuff. So wonderfully done there. Let's kind of wrap this up. I'll talk about the drive and the off-roading, and then yeah, we'll just wrap this one up. All right. Okay, there you go. That's the 2023 Toyota Sequoia in the TRD Pro package with this beautiful orange paint. On the road, this is a nice highway drive, good family vehicle, and fuel economy is much improved over the old 8-cylinder with fewer gears. This has 10-speed automatic, which is, I think, 4 more than it had in the previous generation. That's a big improvement. The hybrid system is a help too. Power output is still just as good, maybe even better. That's a really good thing. Off-road out here, this is pretty good at delivering the low-end torque that you require for regular off-road stuff. Now, this is not a, you know, Jeep Safari vehicle. This is not a Land Cruiser as much as I would wish it was. So there are limits to what it can pull off. It's not a rock crawler or any of that stuff, but it is very competent for medium duty, maybe even a few of the advanced off-road things you'd want to do. So very well done there. Anyway, before the breeze kicks up and knocks my camera over again, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been Aaron, 2023 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.